Hello, this is Frank, and I will be your host today. And we do have a guest speaker, David, and David and I may have a little bit of a dialogue conversation. By way of our regular housekeeping, when you come on board, please mute yourself. And to avoid any embarrassing moments, make sure your camera is off. You don't want us to see you when you think no one's looking. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. David, you can unmute yourself and just stay open. I'm going to be asking some questions as we go along today. And if you have the answer to a question, just go ahead and unmute yourself, shout out who it is that's asking the question and where you're calling from, then go ahead and ask your question. And be brief because we only have a half hour, and then we'll try to get that question answered as quickly as possible. Okay, now if you could only get the system to go, there we go. All right, today we're going to be talking about business development. And my question is, what did you do last week in regards to business developing and developing referral sources? Anyone can shout out. What did you do last week to develop your business or to get new sources? Anyone? All right. Well, these are the things that we need to be doing every single week. We need to be thinking and putting part of our day aside for specifically getting leads, getting new agents, and I wish I could get rid of that. I'm having a real hard time. All right. So every single week we should be thinking about business development. Every week we should be looking for new leads and new agents to come on board to work underneath you. Next question is, how did you leverage your affiliate platform last week in creating referral partners? We call referral partners agents or bird dogs. So we should be getting new agents every single week. We should be looking for bird dogs every single week. And do you know what the main benefits of business development are? David, can you just tell us a couple of points on business developing and why we should be doing it?
Well, in the sense of business development, in the case of affiliates, we're leveraging our activities. So if we're consistently leveraging, finding individuals that can duplicate what we're doing, then we're able to leverage our time. And that's the idea we want to get across to the others as well. It also includes by taking an individual or a source that we're trying to work with, by penetrating that organization, we can find individuals also that need the opportunity or the services.
Well, that's a great answer, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. Where will you get your leads? Well, let's talk about that a little bit. The hottest thing on the planet right now. Somebody's got a little bit of background noise. If you could *6 or mute yourself. We don't all have to hear that background noise. Somebody. Thank you. All right. So now someone's got me in coming back through their speaker feedback. All right. So the first thing, the hottest thing on the planet right now is RIA groups. If you go to a RIA group, every single person who's going to a RIA group is coming back telling me that they were the #1 person in that group as soon as they've shared with the group what it is we're doing. So if you want to have more leads than you can possibly handle, you need to find the RIA group in your area and go there and make a presentation. I offered to you to use my presentation. It's a 10-minute presentation. All RIA groups will give you 10 minutes to talk. Bring your laptop with you and offer to get people pre-qualified They will line up to get pre-qualified. And all you need to pre-qualify someone is first name, last name, email, what the name of their business is and how much money they're looking for and what they'd like to do with it. The next place to go is real estate agencies. Every real estate agency has either a Monday morning meeting or a weekly meeting, or at the very least a monthly meeting. If you can get in front of your real estate offices and those agencies and show them what we're offering, you again will be the number one person. Sometimes real estate agencies give you a little bit of a hard time. So you can come in through the back door by talking to real estate agents. The real estate agent, when he hears what you have, he will insist that his agency has you as a speaker. You can look up real estate agents easily in Google and find literally thousands of them. Craigslist is another fantastic way of advertising for agents and for clients. David, would you like to add anything to the above that I just mentioned?
Yeah, I went on Facebook and posted some details of this program. And just last night and this morning, I got an individual wanting information. I direct him to this webinar now, but it's too soon probably. But the idea is there's a lot of real estate forums and Facebook groups, that is. And I've used that before in different industries. And you're not selling, you're just informing, and they private message you back if they have interest. And that's what he did this morning.
All right. And that's my next subject is social media. I have about 5,000 followers on social media, only because I was one of those real estate gurus that taught people how to buy houses, no money down, no job, no credit, no income, living in your car, and be able to close on a deal in a couple of weeks. Well, we have that. It has been resurrected, and social media, anyone who wants to use my social media, just get in touch with me. I got 5,000 hungry real estate investors that want to talk to me. I just don't have time. Franchises. Anyone who does any kind of franchising is a good source of non-real estate business, but also real estate. When they buy the building, they need your money. Membership groups. Every city and state has a Rotary Club or a members club of business, SBA club, or some type of club where businesses come together. They usually have a breakfast meeting, and those are great, great places to circulate. And equipment vendors, because we do all sorts of financing other than just real estate. Equipment vendors is also a fantastic place. Anything else you'd like to add to this list, David?
Not right now.
All right. So what are the steps to get these people? First, you want to target the industry or a program. Right now, without question, the real estate programs that we have are absolutely on fire. Everyone that's showing these programs are turning in deals and our applications, and these applications are turning into sales. And we're even doing retroactive. As of this morning, if Clarence is on the line, Clarence called in and he went to a real estate RIA meeting. He found somebody that already bought a piece of property. Well, it's under contract, shall we say, and was pre-approved with Wells Fargo, I think he said. And when we told him of the program, he decided he'd rather go with us because with a no money down deal or 125% deal, that leaves money in his pocket to go out and do the same thing he did again and again and again, and that is buying properties. So the second step you should do is when you get these people and you qualify them because you go to these meetings and you brought your laptop and you inputted leads. That's how you pre-qualify people. You input their lead and or you pull their credit report for them, give them the credit. You want to email them back, you want to call them, and you want to stay in front of their face. You want to get as many touches, as many times reaching out to these people as possible.
Hey, Frank,
Yes, go ahead.
quick question. Keith from McDowell Capital. You had just said you run their credit reports. I've heard mixed views on whether or not we should run the credit or make them run the credit and submit it to us. What's your words of wisdom and experience with that?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. It's a great question. We don't pull a hard pull. What we do is we ask them to go to annualcreditreport.com, creditkarma.com, or creditchecktotal.com and get a soft pull. I think that's a great question. We don't want a hard pull. We want to do a soft pull on these people. And if we need to do a hard pull just prior to funding, we can. And what we have done will not affect their credit in any way.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right. So connect and converse and fill a need. When you go to a RIA group or when you're in front of a real estate agency or wherever you're presenting, you need to have start a conversation, find out what the problems are, and then make a solution. If you can fill the need of a specific market, such as our 125% and our 100% CLTV is filling, if you can create that need and fill that need, you will be a truly successful person. And then the next thing is to get them into your affiliate platform. Your affiliate platform, of course, is your agent portal, or in other words, input leads. Nothing happens, and I've had this happen numerous times this week. Nothing happens if somebody calls me up and asks me this, that, or the other, and then I find out that they're not even in the system. We just wasted air. We haven't done anything until we actually have an application and a credit report, so we at least know who we're dealing with. Even if it's the no-doc loan that we have, no-doc doesn't mean I'm going to put the money in a black leather satchel and put it out behind the dumpster. That's not what no-doc means. No-doc means there's no documentation such as bank statements, income verifications, credit reports where we hold it against you, tax returns. None of those things are required on a no-doc loan. But we do need to know who we're giving the money to, and we do need to know where the property is and what it looks like. Okay, so if you're working with leads, ask your agents if they're working with anyone now. As you start adding on leads and as you start adding on agents, ask them if they know anyone who needs any money for any reason. You would go kind of like this. Hey, David, do you know anybody that needs any money for any reason? Why do you ask, Frank? Well, because that's the business we're in. And we have money to lend, and we like to put it out on the street. Real simple. Educate and close. One of the things that we're doing right now is we're offering a real estate masterclass at about 90% discount. It's only $197. Almost anybody can afford that. And when you get that real estate masterclass, you learn about all of the stuff that we're doing, and you learn about all of the details in real estate. Oops, before I go to Daisy Chains, does anyone have any questions about the steps or what we have to do to get started? Anyone? And I'll just unmute yourself, shout out your name and where you're calling from, and ask the question. David, do you have anything to add to this conversation before I go into Daisy Chains?
No, I think you've been very thorough here.
All right. Okay. Well, then we're going to go into daisy chains. Now, can anyone tell me what a daisy chain is? David, help me out here. You know what a daisy chain is.
Foggy brain this morning, sorry.
I'm sorry. Okay. All right. Well, the definition is where there are several people involved in helping a potential client, and not all of the people may be necessary or needed. What happens in the real estate business, especially, is I have a broker who knows a broker who has a broker who has a client. Well, and the client's got $1 million deal, or the deal of the century. Well, what ends up happening is the brokers are all squabbling over the commission that they're going to earn. The deal goes in the toilet and nothing happens. You want to stay away from daisy chains as much as you can. If you do hear about someone and they do have a deal, you need to find out where the deal is, who does have the deal, what is their name, what is the property, and you'd like to speak to them directly. Now, yes, you can do a three-way, and that person can be on the call with you. But I've had, in my 36 years of experience and my 6+ years of working private funding, I've had many, many, many deals go in the toilet because people are squabbling over a commission that they're never going to get anyway. It's kind of crazy. And it's also harmful for the lead, because while they're squabbling, the lead doesn't get funded and they lose the deal. It sucks time out of your life and out of everything that we're doing. You lack control. You have no idea the details of the transaction, or if it even is a transaction. And a lack of understanding to the potential client. The potential client is just like, they just don't understand what's going on and why we can't do what we said we're going to do. And last but by no means least, it decreases the closing percentage. In other words, do daisy chains sometimes bring good deals? Yeah, every now and then you'll actually close a daisy chain. But then the lender says, I'm only going to pay 1 commission or 2 commissions at the most. And if you got 3 or 4 people in the chain, it isn't going to work. Deal's not going to close. The lender will kill the deal. So you want to be real careful not to get involved with daisy chains. I wouldn't discourage them. I would just make sure that you're talking to the actual person who's buying the property. That's the person you need to speak with. Everything else will work out once we get paid. But if we never get to that person, I guarantee you one thing: no one's going to get paid. It's a written guarantee. All right, so how can you avoid it? Always demand to be in direct contact with the lead. It's a company policy, and if anyone says you can't speak to the lead, you're going to speak through me, say, well, all right, then find someone else to fund it, because it's our company policy. We have to speak directly to the lead. Thank you very much for your help. Let me know when you've got one that I can help you with. Only work with relationships that you have a positive history with. If you've worked with someone in the past and they know, like, and trust you, and that's why they brought the business to you, then those are the people that you're going to work with and get the best results. Remember, it only takes one person to kill a deal. You got to be firm. All right. Before I move on to the real estate master class, does anyone have any questions so far, or anyone have any comments? Unmute yourself, shout out your name, tell me where you're calling from, and ask your question.
Frank, this is Dave. I just want to say we really appreciate your experience that you're bringing to the table for us. It'll really help us avoid a lot of issues down the line.
Well, I appreciate that, Dave. Um, it's um, it's my pleasure to help people in general. It's even more of my pleasure to help my agents and my dealers. Um, I like to see everybody get a good deal, and a good deal is when everybody wins. When it's a win-win-win, that's the kind of deals I like. Well, thank you for that comment. All right, let's go to the real estate master class. What in the world are we talking about? Well, we have put together a program that is a real estate master class. It teaches you all the ins and the outs of financing real estate deals. It gives you the do's and the don'ts. It is a very simple class to take. We're offering it at a 90% discount to get as many people involved in it as possible. So if you're speaking to anybody and you say, do you find yourself in the business or real estate arena? And they answer no. Great. Then to help broaden your knowledge of the top real estate products and real estate masterclass should be something to invest in to start. This is certainly going to help everybody, experienced or inexperienced, people that have got years of real estate experience. When they take the masterclass, now they understand the other half of the story, and that is the funding. Now, do you find yourself in the business or real estate arena? The answer is, oh yeah, I do. Great. To help broaden your knowledge of top real estate products, the Real Estate Masterclass should be something to invest in to start. Either way, whether they say no or whether they say yes, the Real Estate Masterclass at $197 is absolutely dirt cheap for the amount of information that we're going to be giving to people. If they do one single deal of any kind of deal, they will get their money back and it will have paid for itself. But I assure you, if you take the class, or if you sell the class, either one, take it or sell it, or both, you will walk away knowing that you've invested really wisely $197, and it will pay for itself many, many, many times over. So we're getting close to the half hour, and so I want to jump real quick into the Real Estate Masterclass flow and the bonuses that we're offering. A lot of people don't know that we have bonuses. I've been talking about all kinds of great, unique, and exclusive programs that we have to our members that talk to me on a daily basis. I've been talking about the bonuses. Now it's time for me to share the bonuses with everyone. So here we go. On the Real Estate Masterclass, we sell that for 90% discount or $197. You get a commission of $97. So you get about half of what we sell it for. When you upgrade somebody to pro agent or recruiter, either way, they call it recruiter or pro agent, you get $100. So for example, if you're already a standard agent and you upgrade to a recruiter, there is a fee, and we are discounting that fee, by the way, but I'm not going to get into it right now. You become a recruiter yourself, or what we call pro agent or professional agent, that you can build as many people under you as you want. It's not an MLM. We are not 100 people deep. If we were a pyramid, we would be one brick high, one brick. It's you and 100 people under you, wide, but not deep. I got my notification that I got to move on. All right. Oh, what in the world have I done? Okay. Leads. the leads, the more sale. When you talk to your lead, you'll bring in more sales and more commissions to you. And signed LOIs, when you bring in a deal and it's a signed LOI, letter of intent, we will pay you $100. Even if the deal doesn't go through, you still get $100. And for your first deal, the example I gave you previously, if your commission were $5,000, we would give you a double commission on your first deal. In other words, you'd have a $5,000 check and a matching $5,000 check. So let's small things add up to large results. So if you were promoting Real Estate Masterclass and you did 20 of them in a month, you could earn an additional $1,940 on top of whatever else it brings in. If you upgrade recruiters, if you upgraded 5 pro agents from standard agent, that would be $500 to you. If you brought in 30 leads in a 30-day period, that's untold amount of money. I have no idea a way of predicting that. It could be unbelievable. Signed LOIs, if you bring in 12 LOIs in a month's time, it's $1,200 in addition to the commissions you will receive on those. And if it's your first deal, you will get, and it's a $5,000 commission, you'll get a $5,000 bonus check. So these are all the bonuses that are added on to and above your regular commissions. This looks like in a month, you could bring in an additional $8,640 above and beyond any of the commissions and fees you would have normally made. So this is just a way for us to thank you for your service to us. And now if there are any questions, it's just going to be an open floor. Go ahead and unmute yourselves, and any questions that you have, let me know. Jeff, you always have great questions. I can always depend on you. Ask me a question.
Well, I don't have a question, but I was one of the first ones that signed up for the masterclass back when they started it. And I've been around this business for about, 8 or 9 years. And they teach you all kinds of things you thought you knew, but you didn't really know. They have a lot of little.
Isn't that a shame? Right at the very end, my internet went out.